Evie live.
Mm.
Good evening, Facebook friends near and far. Lucy Larsson from Strive. We are sending live from the
Mm.
heart of Europe. I would say from the heart of Europe, Sweden. Oh, and Suzanne is joining us too. So I will let you in, Suzanne. Welcome. We
Thank
are
you.
just
Hi.
beginning.
Hey.
Yes, and saying good evening to everyone, whoever is watching and whoever will be watching. And tonight or this evening, we have a very special topic, a very exciting topic that we are about to share with you. We will share our stories, our experiences, and give you some tips as well on how to manage the fabulous and the amazing thing that is called fear. And isn't it great how fear is one of the most important things that we go through life that strengthen us, right? Yes. So this is how we will do it. I will introduce. I will hand over the microphone. I will say the microphone to my colleagues, Frida and Suzanne, to introduce themselves and share with us their thoughts about fear. How do you handle fear? How do you conquer fear? And share experiences and some tips as well on how to do it. So, what do you say, Frida? Would you like to start?
Yes, my name is Frida, and yeah, I'm quite new in Strive, a couple of weeks, and yeah, I felt it was a place, yeah, the right place where everyone can share from the heart. And today, the topic is about fear, and I have so much experience about fear. It's a big thing about my journey. Um, I have been so scared a few years back, and it was about social phobia. I was so scared to talk to people. Only a conversation with a friend I know, it was in a mood of fight and flight because I was so afraid of what other people could think about me and my own beliefs of what that person could think about me in the moment. So I was like, yeah, på min vakt all the time, never relaxed, and the only time I could be relaxed was when I was alone. Yeah, but one day I felt like, or I asked myself, do I want to live like this? Because I didn't know anything else. This was natural for me to always live more or less in the mood of fight and flight. So I started to go to KBT therapist. Uh, she took me out on a dinner or a lunch, and the worst thing for me was to eat soup in front of another person, because yeah, what if, yeah, I start to shake and the thing on the spoon just yeah, so many strange ideas. It's all in the mind. And then, yeah, the second worst thing was to speak in front of other people. So she took her group at work and told me to think about something I wanted to talk about in front of them. And I was so scared, but I did it. And yeah, after I felt really good, and I started to do things that made me afraid, small things every day. And since that day, I yeah, have kept going to see the fear as a possibility to grow. Because many times when I feel scared, I can also feel there is something I really want. I really want to meet that person, or I really want to express my love, or my wish, my longing. Or this, for example, to speak live, to share my story. So I would say, if you feel stuck, or you are comfortable but longing for something more, I would say, try to see, first of all, fill in what do you want more of in life. And if you feel afraid of it, I would say it's definitely something you should go for, and see the fear as a possibility to expand, to grow. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great, Frida. I like how you share. There are two good examples, like your fear of meeting with other people and the fear of eating the soup. Uh, so, but all these fears, when we talk about, when we share our experiences, we share what happened. But the important question that most of us are really not asking ourselves: what is the cause of fear? So would you like to share what was the cause of your fear that you really, really worked on in order to overcome it?
What do you mean? What the word? What was my?
What was the cause of fear? What makes you fear? What makes you fear standing in front of people and speaking in front of people?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, to not be good enough. So today I know it's all in me, but I put the responsibility on the people. Like, what if they think I am not good enough? If I am not interesting to listen to, what could they think about me? But it's from the beginning how I judge myself. Yeah.
So do you think it's something that happens in your adult life, or is it related to something that happens when you were young?
Yes. Yeah. When I was young, I grew up with my mom. Yeah, with my mom and dad and my big brother. And my mom was really good to tell me what was best for me. And my brother, like my big brother, he was like my guard. He told me who about other things that is good for me, or not good for me. So I started to trust them, and I didn't learn to listen to myself, what I wanted, or yeah. So I think the fear is based on not trusting myself. Yes.
It sounds great, and look at you when you drop your guard, and then you are here and you're speaking and you're conquering your fear. So
Yeah.
great, thank you for sharing your story. We'll come back to you, but I would like to hand over to Suzanne.
Thank you, Lucy. It's so nice to be here. It's always a pleasure being together with you. I have been talking about many subjects during this period of time we had Strive, and I am actually a coach of the subconscious mind, and also very interested in behaviors, because we are behaving so strange sometimes. We are afraid of things that are not dangerous because we are thinking so much and our thoughts are affecting us. So I'm coach of the subconscious mind, and I can tell you that we are running our programs. We are running programs what we are told from others or ourselves, because we all of us have an inner hypnotist that's saying to us, oh no, I'm not good enough, because that's our biggest fear, not to be approved, not to be seen, not to be heard, because we want to be seen, we want to be heard, and we want to be included, we want to be someone they are listening to. So it's so important when we are talking about fear, because that's a survival mode. You said, Frida, it's fight or flight. It's also fight is it's hard to fight against society. So flight is more something we are doing when we are afraid, or freeze. We are like freezing because we are so afraid of what's the next, and that's our thoughts. We are firing thoughts in in our brain, and the thoughts is affecting our emotions, and the emotions is affecting our behavior. So it's all about thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and we can change that ourselves. We can think good thoughts, and we can say good things to ourselves. We don't have to listen what other people say about us, because it's not true anyway. And if we have if you are secure, if we have self-confidence about the topic we are talking about, then we know for sure we can do this. So be kind to yourself and encourage yourself. Say nice thing to yourself, because that's also programming to tell you how good you are. And I'm also an advanced professional hypnotist, so we can change our thinking in our subconscious mind through hypnosis, because we have this logical mind, this analytical mind, which is kind of a ego person who is blaming our when you have done something wrong. It's always there. Oh, how stupid are you? What are you doing? How can you do like this? Oh my God, have I done? Instead of, okay, it's not a big deal, let's try again, we can do this. I believe in you. If you say that to yourself, it's more kind of a pep talk. So it's about what we are saying to ourselves and what we are listening to. And the biggest fear, actually, Frida, you said afraid of talking to other people. That's bigger fear than death, actually. So if we are aware of that, we can practice not to be afraid. We can tell ourselves by repetition, we can program ourselves to have more confidence. So we can do it ourselves. And of course, we can take help from a coach or mentor as well. But we can do it. We can pep ourselves. Our inner self hypnotist can do the pep talk.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Susanne. I really like how you put it, connecting with behavior and the behavior and the programming. Um, I'm a career coach, and what I experience in my line of work is that, like you were saying, we listen too much to what other people are saying, and when we listen too much to what other people are saying, that's the programming that we allow to manifest in us. And when we listen too much to that, then we are stopping everywhere in our lives, in our development. We're not proceeding, we're not progressing. And then when it comes to say, no, 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 I cannot do that because I am this. I cannot do it because they told me that. Yeah, but what can you tell yourself? Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe you start there. Start telling yourself that I can do it. I can reprogram myself. I can change my behavior, so we can conquer this fear and do differently than we normally do. So it's a great subject. Yeah, you want to say something, Susanne?
because when we are living in fear, we are actually living in a survival mode.
Mm.
We are not living our true passion, because when we are living our true passion, when we do things we really enjoy, when we do things we love to do, then it's also easy that because we are more confident, because we are not thinking, we are just doing. And when we are just doing, we don't care.
We're
And that's where
free.
yes, we are free, and that's where the
Mm.
magic happen, when we are not thinking too much. Because when we're starting to analyzing, and then we start to think about, no, was that good or was that bad? If someone's telling you, oh, you were so good, okay, thank you, thank you, and then you
Mm.
say the same thing to another, oh, I don't like that, and then we get, oh, I'm not good.
Yeah.
You did the same, but you cannot be. It depends on where are the other people, what level, what is important to them, what is important to you. And you can take away the fear which you don't need, but we cannot take away all kind of fear, because we need a little bit of fear, otherwise we could go out in the street and get run over. So we have to have, what I would like to say, a bit of fear. We cannot hypnotize you to take away all fear, but we
No.
can take away the fear which not it's useful for you.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with you. What do you say, Frida, about not taking away all fear?
Mm. Yeah, then I start to think about my own journey, to when I come to the point that I can't, like, try to get rid of the fear, because I must just learn to accept it and find a way to live with it, more or less.
Mm.
It's much more stronger to with the acceptance than to try to get away something that actually lives in me. To change it with the thoughts, and go into those situations and allowing the fear to be there. Don't Yeah, to see things for what it is, not react on the feeling.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
that's
the recipe. That's the
yeah.
recipe, actually, to
Yeah.
observe it, to notice it, and to ascertain, but not react, not um, blame or put a value on it. Only
Mm.
Mm.
observe. Okay, the fear is here. Maybe talk to the fear.
Yeah.
What is your, why are you here? What do you want? I have noticed you are here, because when you notice it, goes away. And actually, I want to share another tool, which is havening. Have you heard about havening?
No, please share.
Havening is a technique where you put your hands on your arms and doing like this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
you can
that.
also do like this. Try to do on your cheeks with your hands. It feel like someone else is doing this.
Mm.
And this is
Mm.
calming your autonomic nervous system. So you get calmer when you do like this.
Mm.
Mm.
And that's the first state. We can do tapping. Have you heard of tapping?
Yeah. Tapping. Yeah. Mm.
And tapping is also, but havening is really useful when you are afraid.
Yeah.
So I want to share that tool.
That's
Mm.
really nice. Now I have a name for it. I normally do it when I'm sad, when I'm scared. I normally do it just to feel
Yeah.
my own body. But I never really
And there
understood.
are different places on the skin, and
Mm.
where you do it like this. And if you Google havening, you can find out which spot on the body you can use, because we are not aware of which spot is useful for you. That's why you can
Mm.
use them to start trying to feel calmer.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
another thing I can see is the breathing. When you breathe, deep breathing, it's like a signal to the body that you are safe.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. And another thing is when I changed how I looked at my anxiety, the feeling of when I were really afraid in in social situations. I felt very anxious and like a lot of energy, like burning energy. And when I changed how I looked at it, from something bad, like, oh, this is something bad or disgusting, I started to see it, wow, this is power. This is something I can use to something else.
Mm.
This is something powerful in me. And then
Actually, that's the second thing, that you can transform your fear to an energy that's useful for you. So
Mm.
if you want to transform your fear, you can change color on the fear. For if you are closing your eyes, and when you are you having fear, you can find out where in the body is the fear. Is it in the stomach, in the heart, or where is the fear? And do the fear have any color? And if they don't have any color, put the color on the fear. Put your favorite color, and suddenly it change. That's neuro linguistic programming, NLP,
Mm. Yes.
where you
Mm.
use several techniques how to change, and using colors and your favorite colors, or spin the fear around. If
Mm.
there are in a spot, spin the fear around, or shrink the fear, or
Mm.
blow it out, blow the fear in balloon, and then let the balloon go
Yeah. And explode it and make
and
it go.
explode it.
Mm.
So you have several techniques you can use when you have fear. And these blowouts it's when you are talking about breathing, you are sending signals to your autonomic system, nervous system. And then when you breathe out 1 second longer than you breathe in, you inhale, for example, 5 seconds, but you exhale 6 or 7, then you get calmer.
Mm. Mm.
So if you breathe out a little bit longer, you will be more relaxed.
Yes, that's fantastic. Very, very specific technique. Another thing I can add on to the NLP techniques is naming your fear, giving names. Uh, and if to sum it all up, it's all about using all our five senses, right, Suzanne? It's using all our five senses to associate and de-associate ourselves from our fear, and in order to manage it. And uh, basically to make friends with our fear, the fear that gives us that power that you were talking about, Frida. We name it, we feel it, we embrace them, and they are there. And I like how you put it, Susanne, as well. Yeah, you are here now. I can feel you. I see you. I smell you. I can taste you. So what do you want? Just to get to know them. It's a nice way of thinking about it. One of my coaches, she recommended to me she asked me if I have some stones, you know, these stones, crystal stones. And then I said, yes, I have a couple of them. And then she was telling me that I can use them, name them, the different, the different fears I have, that are identify the fears that gives me power, and identify the fears that really shaken my whole core, and to name them. So every time I feel that fear, I just had to connect with them, to hold it, and learn that, yeah, you're here. Like, and then I don't have to just see it in my head and feel in my body. I can hold it and actually feel it. So it's quite a powerful a technique she recommended. So I can recommend as well. Maybe if you love pens, you can use pens to name your different fears. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Yes.
another technique, when we are so concrete specific today, it's you can write down what you are fear of, and then put it in the candlelight and burn them.
Mm,
Burn all your fears. And especially a couple of days ago when it was full moon. So give all your fears to the moon to transform it to power.
mm,
This is a rituals which you can feel that you are giving your fears away,
mm.
and believe on it. Then you can feel they releasing you.
Yeah. But
Mm.
it says it's not something that happens once, right? Like you were saying before, it's repetition. You have to repeat
Repetition.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely, because you have the power to take control over yourself. You have the power to manifest whatever you want if you have high vibrations in your body, because fear is a low vibration, and you
Mm,
can change your vibration only with your body, only with a smile. To put a smile on your face is also a technique, because then your body feels okay, she's happy. And
mm,
if you have read about the power pose,
yeah.
power positions, where you do like, yeah, yes, I'm the best, you are
Mm,
putting energy, power in yourself. And
yes.
suddenly the fear have disappeared because you are so powerful.
Mm.
Mm.
But like you were
Yeah.
saying, you have to believe in it. Yes, Frida?
Yeah, now when you started talking a bit about the body, I have worked a lot with the body. I work as a tantra therapist, and I work a lot with touch, and that is also something that make your body feel uh, safe when you are in connection with another person.
Mm,
And yeah, and it's different. Some people are uh, not very used to touch. Some people are even afraid of touch. And yeah, but it's interesting how it affects the nervous system just
Mm.
with physical touch, and also with the immune system, and yeah.
mm.
And it's proven that when you touch also kids, small kids, they have um, I don't know the English word in Barnhem. Do you know the English word in Barnhem?
Bornham, like the children's home, the children's nursery,
No, it's where they are living. They are don't having any parents. They are putting in a Barnhem. It's an
like
it's
a foster
no, not foster. It's
center.
Barnhem. They are all have. They are. I don't know the English word. It's a
Okay.
house where the children live with, who don't have any parents, and they are shown that if they don't touch the kids, they die
Ah, at a very early age when they were
in a
babies.
very early age. If they don't touch them, they
Mm,
die.
mm,
Mm, mm,
So it's so important with um, beröring, touch.
mm.
yeah.
Yeah. The body contact,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
human
yeah.
contact. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Mm,
beautiful. Mm. Yeah, there's something I've been thinking about uh, when why we have the fear in us. It's when I'm thinking about the present and the future, and we often talk about visualizing your results, visualizing your goals, or visualizing where you want to be in life, and that I can experience from my in my line of work. Like many people, they find it so hard to visualize the future, the positive results. but they are very quickly at visualizing, no, I cannot resign from my job, then I don't have any money. Yeah, but that's the future. What about now? So why don't you turn it around and say, well, I can resign my job and I will work in order to. But when you're saying something positive about doing something now so that you are well and happy, and then you quickly visualize the negative results, and that for me it's like fear. We fear the unknown, and we create it instantly rather than we are here now, staying at present, and embrace what's at present. Do you have any thoughts around that?
A lot, a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Because that's the most amazing tool is to visualize how do you want it to be, because okay, it's so awful, this and this and this, okay, how do you want it to be? Tell me, how do you want it to be? Okay, you can't see it, but how do you want it to be? Tell me, how do you want it to be? And then they talk, I want to this and that. Okay, say that it's already have happened. Believe and
Mhm.
think about it's already had happened, because our brain can't distinguish between a memory or um, something in the future. So
Mm,
that's why we don't know if it's an old memory or a worry for the future, or if we are visualizing or telling us how we want it to be.
mm,
So it's really important to have this goal as a picture, because our brain is like a goal picture, målbild.
mm,
Instead of words, you can put a picture of our or your future. And the picture can only be when you see yourself smile. You see yourself relaxed, happy, harmonious. And if you see yourself in that state, then you are not afraid anymore in the
mm,
future.
Mm.
And suddenly you bring yourself into the future. You are not living in the past any longer. You're living in the future. And then you change your state.
mm. Yeah.
Mm.
What do you think, Frida?
Yeah, I just think this is really good. Yeah, something I want to start with more. Uh, yeah, because I have heard about it and I think it's really powerful to because it's yeah it's with about the focus. What I focus on, I create.
Mm,
What I think, I feel like I become, and what I become, I will create.
mm,
So it's so much about the focus. So start to think on what I want, and like you say, Susanne, and start to visualize how I feel, and yeah, I think
How you
it's
want to feel.
yeah.
Mm.
mm.
Because where you
It's
put your focus, your energy goes.
yeah. And
Mm,
it's very powerful. And once again, it's not something that you do once or two times or three times. It's a repetition and all the time. Just like you're playing football, if you want to be better, you have to practice. You're playing the guitar, you have to practice to be better and better. So visualizing is a very powerful tool that we
It's a
all agree on.
It's
Yeah.
a morning ritual. Do
Yeah.
it every morning when you wake up. How do I want to have my day today? How do I want to have my week? How do I want to have my month? How do I have to have my year? So
Mm,
do it every morning. It take and to do baby steps. Do it only 1 minute or 5 minutes. Don't use 1 hour and to start with.
mm,
To start small, so you do it to stay consistent. That's the secret sauce, actually, to do it every day. And if you start with 1 minute, you will more or less continue than if you start with 1 hour. Do you
mm.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
absolutely. Baby steps, because you're not used to it. And again, it's a behavior, it's a programming the old program that we're trying to break and be free of that old programming and create new. So it connects to creating new behaviors and visualizing how we feel, how we want it to be. And I like how you put it, Susan, to be. How do you want it to be?
Mm.
And Frida, now you admitted that you would like to do it more, the visualizing
Yes.
part. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I start to think about the actions to it,
Mm.
like start to uh, with the doing, because I since like 2 weeks ago I have started to run only 5 minutes
Mm.
Mm.
every day.
Mm.
And today I was thinking about it. What is it? What is the feeling I want to reach when I go for a run? Because for me, it's when I think about it, when I have been thinking about it, it feels really boring to go for a run.
Mm.
Mm.
But I know with training and exercise, it's really good for the brain and the body and the whole system.
But
Uh,
that's one thing you can do. Instead of saying to yourself it's boring, you can say, I love running because it's good for my brain, it's
mm,
healthy. So
mm,
I think this is really nice doing. So if you say to yourself, I think this is really nice doing, I think this is really nice doing,
Mm.
then your subconscious mind start
Yeah.
to believe what you're saying, because your subconscious mind don't argue, don't analyze. It's your conscious mind which analyzing. And if you do this consciously, it's
Mm.
only to program your subconscious mind that you love running.
Mm.
And it's so strange. In 1 year, if you start doing this month, every morning, to say to yourself, I really
mm.
love running. In
Mm.
1 year, I can ask Frida, what do you think about running? And you said, I love running. And you have forgot that you said it's boring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I
that's
can
how
tell
we
you,
can. Yeah.
only after 2 weeks, it's like I longing for the run, because
Mm.
it's together with the music and the power I got in
Mm.
coming in contact with. Is like, yeah, something I really longing for.
Mm. And
Ah,
then
it's
it's not
magic.
boring.
Mm,
Mm. Yeah, it's similar to meditation. I never used to like meditation because of the programming from my childhood. That when I grew up in Samoa, we have these prayers in the evenings, and every Sunday we go to church, and we will sit for hours and be quiet, don't say anything, just listen to the priest and praying, and our parents are praying very long hours. So we sit there and we have to not talk, not move, and it's all frustration that builds up. And so when I tried to meditate and learn the practice. So it was tough. So I started baby steps. I started 1 minute, 2 minutes. And so now I can sit for hours. And
Mm.
it's a practice that continue. And just like you're saying, Frida, you're longing for it. And I have
mm,
that feeling. I long to sit still and just be me and meditate, just clear things out and just be there. And I can do it everywhere. But before, I want to come home and sit on my own and close my door and kick my kids out for an hour. But now I can be by the sea, in the forest, in a garden, and just close my eyes and disappear for a while. And it's absolutely fantastic.
mm,
And when you are talking about meditating, when I was starting meditating, I was in a temple in Thailand,
Hmm.
and in that temple we walked. It was walking meditation, and
Hmm.
when you are walking, you have your eyes open. So we were just walking and meditating. We started. It was quite tough because we would started in the 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we finished 9 o'clock in the evening. So
Hmm.
it was many hours, and I was thinking about, oh, this is tough. But when you were walking and walking and walking, it was not tough because I could have my eyes opened and you get the same results anyway.
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful.
Mm.
You know, one of the places I love meditating here in Sweden are in the churches, the big, beautiful church. I used to, when growing up in Samoa, we go to church every Sunday. So it wasn't really, when I came here to Sweden, it's not really something that I would like to do, to go to church and sit there. But now I love it. I really enjoy just going there and just sit all by myself for an hour. And it's just that empty space and all by myself. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I start to think about my first experience of this beautiful uh, s- space within myself. I reached it. It was not through meditation, it was through yoga.
Mm.
I had started to yoga with a lot of um, prestation, like an
Performance.
exercise.
Mm.
And but then I started to realize that yoga is so much more. It's not just an athletic exercise form. It's more with the breathing and the experience of myself deeper.
Mm.
And it was in the beginning of my journey working through the fear. And I was sitting on the yoga mat, and the feeling of the panic feeling came to me when I was just sitting in a position,
Mm.
meditation position, and the mind started to think that I need to run away. I need
Mm.
to go out from the room.
Mm.
But then, for the first time, I didn't listen to that
Good.
thought.
Mm.
I just sat with that feeling of panic and anxiety and all the thoughts that came. What if the other people in the room see me right now? I started to shake,
Mm.
and the yoga teacher is just in front of me, and can see all these
Mm.
things I've been trying to hide for so many years.
Mm.
And it was so scary. But then I just accepted it, and then something else came behind that. This beautiful, relaxing
Mm.
state. It was so wow, magic.
When I'm listening to you now, it's like a transformation
Yeah.
when you used your courage,
Mm,
because courage is when you do something you are afraid of.
Mm.
Because someone say courage is when you do something, for example, bungee jump. No, that's not courage if you're not afraid of it.
Mm.
When
mm,
you do something you are afraid of, that's courage. And you stayed in that position despite you were so afraid of everything. So it was so much courage. And when you
Mm.
use your courage, you transform your fear to a state of beautiful, relaxed, magic state.
mm, mm,
Yes. It reminds me, now we're talking about courage and fear, reminds me of Brene Brown's, when she talks about integration of yourself, and how curiosity is the key to courage. And
Yeah.
when we are fear, we have this fear of something, we feel it. It's fear. At the same time, you have that curiosity to find out, if I take a little bit more, if I stay a little bit longer, what would
Mm.
happen? And then you have that courage to continue and to conquer. And exactly like Susanne was saying about your experience, Frida, I can picture that. It was curiosity. You were curious about your own fear, and then you push it a little bit, and then you're there. the
Mm.
But it's
courage.
also to take control over your mind or your body, because you are not your mind, you are not your body, you are your soul, and you can decide what you want to feel. It's up to you. If it's up to you, what do you want to eat, what do you want to do? But your body, when you are sitting in yoga positions, your body say, no, this is uncomfortable, please, I want to lay down, and you said, no, I'm in the control now. I
Mm,
am the master of our mind, of our body. So you just have to stay and wait. When we are done, you can lay down.
Mm.
And it's the
yes.
same. I'm hungry. I want to eat. I want chocolate. I want chocolate. And so, no, we are not eating chocolate today.
Mm,
No, I'm
Mm.
in control, not you.
yeah. Mm. But we are
Mm.
so easy to surrender to those things that don't do as well because of the programming we have
Yeah,
been all our lives. It's
Mm.
amazing. And I want
it's
to,
only to, it's only to make a decision.
yeah, the power of standing in your own impact and your own results.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something yesterday when I was at a networking meeting, and there was a workshop about improvising skills, how you improvise, use improvise. A theatrical improvisation to deliver your message, to create an engagement from your participants. So this instructor or the speaker, he was telling us, okay, we will do some theatrical scenes, and you will act from your own capacity. And then one of the ladies, she said directly, "Oh, this is going to be hard."
Mm.
And I felt like, no, no, don't say that. I didn't say it, but I felt it right away. I felt it right away. No, it's not going to be hard. Don't say
Mm.
that. Don't,
Mm.
don't. And
If,
it's
if,
normal
if
reaction that we get that reaction. And sometimes I think they don't mean it. They just say it.
but if you want to say this is going to be hard, and I said yes,
Mm,
you can say it, but you have to say it. You have to say this is not going to be easy.
mm,
Mm.
Because if you say something is hard, you only hear the word hard. But if
mm,
you say this is not going to be easy, easy, this is not going
Mm.
to be easy, easy, easy.
mm,
So we are programming ourselves. We can use every word we want, but don't use the negative ones.
yeah.
If you want to use a negative one, put a not into, for example, um, if my staff is saying to me, oh, I'm feeling so bad, then I say, oh, you're not feeling good.
Mm, yeah.
Oh, this is so difficult. Oh, this is not so easy yet.
Mm, mm,
This is not
yet.
this is not easy yet.
Mm. Yet is a powerful word. Very
Very.
little and very powerful.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Mm.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, so I'm thinking about uh, we have about 10 minutes, and if you would like to share one of the toughest fear that you have overcome, shortly, briefly, and share a technique just to specify our takeaways for tonight. One of the toughest, the worst fear that you have overcome, and a technique that you can send or leave here with our viewers to take with them. Who would like to go first?
Mm. Yeah, I can start. Um, so yeah, it was on mm, the Tantra festival on Ängsbacka. I were supposed to speak in front all the participants, and there were about 500 people on that festival. And yeah, I was so afraid, uh, but I know that this is something I can yeah, grow and expand in. And when I went out there, I think what I did was to just be present in the moment, not because I had learned before, when it comes to speaking in front of people, to not think about so much what should I say when I go out there. Of course, I can prepare a little bit before, but not think so. Just leave it after. Maybe I prepare it a little bit before, but when I stand the minute before I'm gonna go out and speak, I don't think about what should I say when it's my turn. Just being present, listen to the other person who is just before me, and being present. And then when it comes to my turn, it's like, yeah, being keep being present. I think that's yeah, a good tool to practice being present.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Yeah, it's been through yoga a lot, and I use touch, conscious touch, because that is for me a tool. It can be with myself or with another person, to being present in the feeling, in the touch, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. The body touch, the natural
Yeah.
human touch. That's what we are back to now when all the restrictions are uplifted. So we are meeting people, we embrace each other, we hug, we shake hands. Yeah, and for myself, I speak personally. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, and I realized that yeah, I have taken it for granted. How important it is to connect with other people, with the body contact. Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Frida. Susanne?
And my greatest moment where I was so afraid, where it's many years ago when we was in baby swimming with my son, and he stopped to breathe, and they didn't know what to do because I thought he was dying. So I was so afraid, and I didn't have any tools to handle that at that time.
Mm,
So during the last 10 years, 15 years, I have worked with hypnosis, self hypnosis, because then I go to a state where I can lower my volume of stress. I go to my mental place,
mm,
the place within, a power place within, where I can regulate my autonomic nervous system. And when I regulate it, I cannot regulate it to zero, because if I'm very afraid or stressed, it's like alarm system, it's a 10.
mm,
But I can come down to a 6 or 5, so I get calmer and have faith, and really have faith, because I really want to stay in the vibration of faith,
mm,
in rather than a state of fear.
mm.
So
So you really recommend the hypnosis?
I do.
Yeah. I
I do.
haven't done it, but I would love to do it.
When I started with NLP, and I'm NLP master practitioner and trainer. But
Mm,
when I started with hypnosis, it's actually so quick.
mm,
And all kind of hypnosis is self-hypnosis, so it's technique to learn. So I do courses in hypnosis for everybody,
mm,
because we can all learn it. We are going, all of us is going to hypnosis every day. We are going when we are going to sleep, because it's when our brain waves are slowing down. It's also the same when you go meditating.
Mm.
To meditate is to slow the brain wave downs, and when we go to sleep, they are, we are in deep sleep,
Yeah,
and
you
and
don't know
hypnosis,
anything.
yeah, and hypnosis is in between, between a relaxed state and deep sleep. So it's a normal
Mm.
uh, state actually. So where we can lock the analytical mind and lock
Mm.
this, um, where we analyze everything only to be calm.
Mm. Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, hypnosis. Mm. Okay, then I will share my fear, or one of the greatest fear and that I have in my life, my beautiful life. When I was young, around, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, I loved to look in the mirror. It's I as a young girl, I look in the mirror, I dance from the mirror, I speak to the mirror, I talk to the mirror, I do everything with the mirror when growing up. And one of my brothers, he's older than me. I have 5 brothers and 4 sisters. So one of the brothers, he's a clown, he's a comedian in the family. So he would, I think, 4 years older than me. So he would make fun of me, and he would say, "It doesn't really matter how many times you look in the mirror, you're still ugly." So he would say those horrible things, and it made me do the things I do, the things I like to look in the mirror. It makes me hide. I hide and do it, so that he will not see me. He will not say anything to me. So I grew up with that programming, that how people perceives me, how people see me as a person. So it really affect me somehow when I think of how I go to school, how people look at me. And so growing up as a teenager, adults, same. It followed me everywhere. And looking in the mirror during my upbringing, it was like something sinful, something bad, something not good for me. So the mirror became like something. Oh no, I don't dare to look in the mirror. I look, but not when someone is watching me. Um, so that was one of the greatest fear that I've been working on to release, to get rid of that. And no one is looking at you, no one is thinking otherwise of you, no one is saying anything about you. It's just something that you allow to process, and you allow to program in your own mind. So I work with it, and how I work with it, I use the mirror. Uh, Back then, the mirror was like an enemy. So I used my enemy to fight my enemy, or if I put it in that way. So I started to talk to the mirror again, to embrace the mirror, to look in the mirror, and talk to myself. So it's been a challenge to look into the mirror, and I do it when no one is watching me. And even in the big city, no, the shopping malls, they have mirrors
Mm,
everywhere, and
mm,
I've been avoiding them
mm,
now and then. In New Zealand, when I grew up, or I don't really look at them. But now I love mirrors because I've been using my enemy to fight my enemy and
very good.
be friends with my fear. So here in my house, I have mirrors everywhere, and I embrace them. I say, well, it's the way of life. It's it's something beautiful. It's beautiful and object that whoever invents it, I am very grateful. Then I can relate to the movie Snow White. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the prettiest of them all? And you change that. A mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the powerful of them all?
Mm,
Just power and conquer your fear. So
mm.
that's my story. Use your enemy to fight your enemy.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yes. my ladies, is there anything else you would like to share?
I appreciate our discussion tonight. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lucy, and thank you, Frida, for having this conversation. And happy Friday.
Yes, and thank you, Susan. Thank you, Frida, for your energy and your knowledge and sharing your stories. It's great to spend the Friday together with you.
And thank you, Susanne and Lucy. I'm super happy to been having this conversation with you about fear.
Mm, fantastic. Oh, well, enjoy Friday and have a lovely weekend and hope to see you soon again. To all our
Thank you.
viewers and our watchers, thank you so much and all the best. Have a very nice weekend and conquer your fear. Embrace them. Okay, ciao.
Ciao.